Living in a small apartment in town, only Washington, only child at the time, parents.
Hello, and welcome to my final reflection media graphic for INTE 5340. So, when I was deciding how I wanted to organize all of the incredible work and discoveries that I have made this semester, I realized that a linear format such as a timeline didn't really work. It worked, because the class was by weeks, but it didn't really work with connecting everything back to the bigger picture and back to my media scorecard. So I decided I needed something non-linear, something that would kind of offer a little bit of organized chaos. And so I created this media graphic. It's much more than an infographic. It's a media graphic. So let's take a look. So as it says, you can follow the arrows and explore my creations and discoveries, but make sure to pay attention to the links in and next to the media bubbles to take you to explore more. For example, this link takes you to explore my blog and my website. So here we are taking a look at the media scorecard, and you will see that there are connections between each media and the projects that they were emphasized in. So audio I felt like was a really strong point for me. I started using it for my reflections and for more projects and just got more and more comfortable with it. Video I used a lot. That's something I'm more comfortable with a photography background. But I did some video editing towards the end of the class that definitely challenged me in my digital ethnography project. That really pushed my editing skills. I really wanted a tight professional product, and so I really worked on that one. Graphics, being a graphic design background and teacher, that was the most natural for me. So I tried not to overuse it. I tried to, not just use it as a crutch. Web, I've used some web tools before, but having access to the Adobe Creative Suite, they're so much more powerful than a lot of the web tools that I tend to shy away from web tools, but I really discovered some cool ones. The timeline tool from NightLab is an amazing tool, a way to be able to see lots of different events and how they come together and connect together, and I'm interested in exploring some more of their tools. That was a really cool discovery. And we also have social media, so that connects to my social media projects. That definitely was not something as comfortable for me. I'm used to using social media for fun and just to share things with friends and family, not really to create, serious artworks or media creation. So that was definitely an interesting challenge and a stretch for me. And then dialogue. It took me a while to warm up to dialogue because I feel like they're just such big stories, such important stories. It's such a connection, a dialogue, an oral history is such a connection to the history of humanity, because that's how we used to tell stories, sitting around the campfire and listening to our elders tell stories. I'm not that old, but I've heard that that's how we used to tell stories as humans. So it felt like more of a weight to tell that story, and I wanted to find an important enough story that I could share, something that was personal and universal that other people could connect to. And so that goes back to my digital ethnography project. And I had a few other dialogue experiments as well, including the podcast with Brad and Jasmine, which was very fun. So as we continue along here, you will see my daily creates. And the daily creates some of them have media embedded in them, so you can play the media. You can go full screen if you want to. You can even play more than one media at once if you like layers. So this gives you a little bit of control. The images here will take you to a link to that post or image. So this one will take you to daily create that I did about my class as super storytellers. So you can explore some of my favorite daily creates right there. Next, go over to assignments, and of course when you're exploring this, you explore this in any order you want to, but I'm showing it to you this way. So here's a link to my timeline. You can explore that. Radio commercial. So again, if it's a video, it can be played right here within the MEDIAgraphic, or you can use the links to get outside of there. And there's my Pride and Joy, my digital ethnography project that I collaborated on with my husband and son. We were really thrilled with the story that we were able to tell. Next, you'll see my critiques. These are links to my critiques. I really enjoyed getting to explore some different forms of storytelling, some different platforms, some that I liked, some that I didn't, one that I didn't. But it's always good to look at things that challenge the way that you do things and the way that you think about things. And I think that the critiques definitely provided that opportunity. And here's some of my favorite classmates' works. So you've got some of my favorite pieces by Michelle. And again, if it's a video, it can be played right here. This is her remix of my Bauhaus gift, and I just thought this was such a cool collaboration. I'm excited to share this with my students, again, to show them how they can play off of each other's work and ideas. So I got so much great material from the classes this summer. I'm actually very excited to go back to school this fall and apply a lot of what I've learned. So here you can check out some of Michelle's work, and here's some links to her Twitter page and her work. Jasmine I definitely connected with probably the most as other student in class. She just had rockin' media usage every week in her reflections, in her work, in her assignments, in her daily creates, taking us along on her road trip to New Jersey with us. She was just a really fun, enjoyable student to have in class, and then she created one of my favorite projects of the year, the INTE 5340 Horror, which was a great way for us to have some laughs at the class's expense. Thank you, Jasmine, for that. And there's a link to our podcast with Brad and some fun gifts and things she's done. And then more recently, I've discovered the work of Tristan. And Tristan has done really fun variety of work, very visual. I thought this was really cool, a hypothesis live, actually annotating the text that we were talking about live. There's really fun vintage remixes, a cool story note interview process, so check out Tristan for sure. And then we move on. These are my reflections. I think it's wonderful that this is a part of the design process. I encourage my students as well to reflect back on what they've done, what they've made, and what the significance of it is to the bigger picture of what they're trying to do. And so I feel like that's what my reflections have really done. And by the time this link is shared with you, there will be one more answering some of the final reflection questions. I hope you enjoy exploring this MEDIAgraphic. And it is a total coincidence that it looks like a heart, but it's not, because art and technology and creativity is all definitely part of my heart. So thank you for watching, and have fun exploring my MEDIAgraphic. I'm Bella. Here's my growlery.
The key of communication. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight.
Thank you for watching. Sure to make it to me. Make it play the story of how you're moving into a more
Living in a small apartment, West Chester County, only one, only child at the time, parents.